F1 2019 hasn't come out yet, so we're doing it in the F1 2018 cars. This is the first race of the day. We have F1 later on, but will join us with 5 minutes left of qualifying as Andrew goes fastest. I believe that's Andrew. I am learning people's names at the moment because they are new drivers to me. And yes, that is Andrew with a 1:17.7, very closely followed by Ethan, who has got a 1:17.7 as well. Ethan in third, he is just filling in because he just wanted to. And then we have the world champion of F2, Nathan, in fourth, followed by Neil, I think that is. Yep, Neil in fifth. And Alex Stingray, who has now left the session. I thought he would keep going, but he hasn't. And then Tommy in seventh, he retired, crashed at the pit lane. And then we have Morgan in eighth. And in ninth place, we have, I don't know how to say your name, Namo. So, oh, it's Cameron. Oh dear. Reminder, we have Cameron in ninth. He is at the moment not actually in the game, so, and oh, Andrew goes a tiny bit faster there actually, with by 2,000ths second there. Nice laps from him. The winner of the F2 race today gets a place in F1, and Andrew retires. He feels like he has done enough. See, Ethan's now on a lap. We could see improvements from him. We could also see improvements from Nathan if he comes back out, and Neil. They'd have to gain about a second and a bit. Oh no, they would, yeah, a second and a bit. And Neil would need to gain quite a bit. Morgan not come out yet. And that's Ethan completely losing the rear, and I think that is an invalid lap from him. And he's retired, so that is our top two at the moment. Now we have Ethan Taylor going across now. He comes into the pits. So Neil is now on his out lap. He's the only one on track now. So he has a lot of clean air. No one in front of him. He has plenty of time as well. 2 minutes remaining in this session. And we'll just wait for him to start his lap. Not much I can say now. No one else going out. And now Neil is coming around to start his lap, and let's see what he can do. 1:50 is enough time for 2 laps, and he's the only one out on track. If people don't start coming out now, then we could have our top 9 sorted. And Morgan does not seem like he's coming out yet. I mean, at the moment, oh, and Neil's gone straight on where the two Mercedes collided in 2016. What a shame. I don't know if that was purposeful, to be honest. He didn't really look like he was braking. But, wow, nice camera view there. Lovely camera view. And now we just wait for other people. There's only a minute left, so that is it. Neil has left. I don't know why he's left. This is very complicated. And someone is going out, but with 50 seconds left, there is not any point. So I will invite Neil back, though. Portman will be activated for a bit. I'll just quickly invite Neil back to the session so he can join us for the race. And let's hope think he might have joined by the time I actually invited him, but he is out. Morgan's now going out with 17 seconds remaining and goes wide. So that is it. And our 9 drivers in F2 at the moment. Well, we have full 19 at the moment with many people trying to join. Neil has joined back, and we have now finished when Morgan gets back across the line. Never mind, we've all just finished. And that is a very casual qualifying session. No one really standing out, but Andrew definitely, like, a very good pole position from him. I've never seen him race before, so this is good in pre-season for him to get pole. It shows that he is a contender. Second is Ethan. Third, Ethan. It doesn't matter about him though. Fourth is Nathan. Fifth is Neil. Sixth is Alex, but he's left. Seventh is Tommy. Eighth is Nova Ruins. And I should say Nova Ruins, Morgan is in 8th. And 9th place is Karen. He joins back. And Neil's back in the game. If we come back in, then make connection issues from some of the drivers, so it might prevent them from joining the session. We will look fine. So now, as we get ready to start the race for the first and only pre-season of F2, 25% race. It's going to be about 25 minutes ish, and I'm hoping that everyone's clean, no one's dirty, we can have a good race. We will interview the top 3 of the session. At the moment in this session we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 drivers, so 2 have left. I believe that's Neil that has not got into this session, so big shame. I would have expected him to be battling for a podium maybe. And there is mad connection issues for some drivers, as Andrew is glitching inside of someone apparently. So this is fun. So now, as we're about to start the race, here we go, 5 red lights. And it's a jump start from Morgan. It's lights out, and away we go. And 2 of the drivers don't move. And we are now down to only a few. 5 drivers as Andrew leads them, followed by Nathan, followed by Tommy, and then followed by Cameron in 4th, Morgan in 5th. And yep, Ethan's been disqualified. He wasn't even in, so that's fine. And we're down to 6 drivers now at the moment. But we know he's been disqualified. And Andrew definitely leading with a stride already, 1 second gap already, and Nathan's now got to hold up Tommy to stop him from getting past, to keep that 2nd position. Cameron is also quite close behind these 2, so that's a 3-way battle for 3rd at the moment. As is that Tommy off? That's Tommy off, and Tommy's retired. I think he had contact with someone. I'm not sure. I didn't really see that clearly, but I definitely think there was contact there. And that is a bad day for Tommy. He retires in qualifying and now retires straight around the race. I think it was contact, but we will wait to see any videos, and stewards will look into that. As there he is, Andrew leads, followed by Nathan, followed by Cameron, who are both close together. Then Morgan in 4th, who's got a drive through. Then Ethan in 5th, who had a bad start. I think he weren't ready. There's a virtual safety car now, so we've got to wait. Let's see if there's Ethan. If you look at Morgan now, 3 seconds behind, 2.8 now. He seems to be gaining as a virtual safety car has now ended, and we will go on board with Cameron to see if he can gain this position to get into P2. And Neil has left the session because he could not race today in this session due to connection. And now we wait as Cameron is 2 tenths behind Nathan. See, this is lap 2, so no DRS yet, but I think raw power might help as Nathan's got a bad run off the corner. And they're side by side, sector 2 yellows, and it's side by side between Cameron and Nathan. Cameron's gone a bit wide, but let's see if we can get the run on Nathan. No, we can't. Okay, so we have still Nathan in second, but Cameron looks like he's shaping up a move. Oh, they seem very close, and Cameron looks like, he looks for the move, but he never takes it, and Cameron looks like he's now got a better run off the corner. As we are entering lap 3 now, Andrew gets the fastest lap. Cameron is closely following Nathan for the battle for second, and let's see him push the outside. Let's see if he can. If we go into turn 1, he goes running outside, which will turn into the inside for turn 2. We've got the move. Very nice battle between these two. I'm looking forward to the proper season where we get to watch these two battle this closely. And there's a yellow flag in sector 3. Is that Morgan? We look at Andrew now though, commanding lead, 3.3 seconds. We go back to this battle for second between Cameron and Nathan. These two very close. And Nathan seems to be running wide a bit. Often it's very weird from him. I've not seen him like this for a while. We'll just change it so we can see what tyre they're on. And at the moment, Cameron's pulled away from Nathan due to Nathan making mistakes. He's now got a 3-second lead over Nathan, and Cameron is now gonna have to try and gain back up to. Oh, and Morgan's retired. I've not really been concentrating on Morgan, and that's only 4 drivers finishing now. Shame. We had 9 drivers when we started the session, but connectivity is stopped. Oh, and Nathan hitting a wall as he goes into the pits, and he's left the session. Let's just see what's going on in the chat, just to check there's no. As now he's left. Ethan takes into P3, and at the moment, Andrew commanding lead in this 17-lap race, followed by Cameron, followed by Ethan. And they all now just kind of nowhere near each other. And obviously Nathan leaving, that means he probably won't gain back up unless he joins the game again. He won't gain that gap back up to Ethan. So at the moment, I believe we have our top 3 settled. It's not confirmed. And now we are just waiting. Okay, so this race has gone really dead very quickly. 5 laps now have been completed, and Cameron now has an 18-second lead as Andrew has come into the pits, but he's already gaining a gap as he's on fresher tyres. So now we wait for Cameron to make his stop soon. I assume he'll probably pit this lap, and we'll start spectating him to see if he pits this lap, as he is now in sector 3. So at the moment, this race definitely a bit dead at the moment, but we are hoping that from what Nathan and Cameron showed between them, it's going to be a fierce competition in F2. We're going to lap 6 now, and Cameron hasn't pit yet, so he's still running. Andrew ever closing that gap. He's about 18 seconds to 17.8. He is closing the gap now, 17.7. And then Ethan in third, just kind of in no man's land at the moment, but keeping himself occupied on them super soft tyres. Not much to really say at the moment in this race. Oh my god. We are just waiting for maybe Cameron to make a pit stop and maybe Andrew to slow down a bit, and we will have ourselves a race between them two. I want to see more racing from them, to be honest. I want something to actually get excited about, not sitting here watching them just go round. A bit dead, to be honest, like practice. Let's see, will Cameron come into the pits this lap? He does not, he's staying out, he's losing time to Andrew, he must realise this. But I guess he has plans for his strategy to pay off. And let's go on board with Ethan for a bit, as we haven't really gone over him. Oh, I was about to sneeze. As now Andrew is 17.7 seconds, now 17.5 for behind Cameron. He's on the soft tyres, and they are much newer than Cameron's super soft tyres, which have gone 6 laps now. And we just have to wait until we see a pit stop. Wait now, and let's see, and there's a yellow flag in sector 2, and Ethan's round, Ethan's in the wall, that is a shame, and he gets back on track, and doesn't look like he's got front wing damage on the right, and he's just suicided a wall, so okay, Nathan looks like he's actually going to get a P3 then, so no matter what, and Cameron is in the pits, so let's see where he comes out. There's Andrew, he goes flying past now, and Cameron's got a big gap to close up as he comes out of the pits now. So 3 finishes, and Ethan actually lost his brake pedal. So that must have mean his spring broke. I've had that happen. So that's why he retired. That explains a lot. So now, lap 8. Not much going on like there hasn't been for the last 7 laps, to be honest. Cameron's got a 4.2 second lead, but his laps are 3 laps younger than Andrew's, so we could see a battle by the end of the race, but also could not. You never know, really. So at the moment we have Cameron closing down. It's 3.5 seconds now, so it seems like he's got into the groove, and will definitely be closing into Andrew in the coming 8 laps that remain. Why is my sister shouting? Nathan, his AI is keeping him in this race and is going to get him a P3, and 3.4 seconds now, the gap. So it's between these two for the win, obviously, because Nathan is 1 minute and 5 seconds behind. But I don't think it's going to be a close race, and we'll see these two battle in the F2 Championship of CRL next season. And I think it's going to be very tough for them all to battle each other, but Cameron looks like he is closing that gap as he sets fastest lap of 1:19.8, and 7 laps remain. 8 laps remain. 8 laps remain in this race. 3 seconds the gap is now between Andrew and Cameron, and now 1 minute 10 is the gap for Nathan's AI. Well done, Nathan's AI, for staying in this race. Well done, Nathan, for leaving. We will make him explain when he gets in the party to be interviewed. We will make him explain why he's left, but it's fine. Now the gap 2.8 seconds to Andrew in front. These two definitely, it says he's up okay. Right, so from what you can see on the tyres, it says that Cameron's on the super softs. He is on the softs now, though, so don't worry, he is not on the super softs. We'd have to make another pit stop. Let's see. Obviously, Nathan's AI now getting lapped. 2.7 seconds now, the gap. It's ever closing, but I'm not sure if it will close enough for there to be a battle between the two. But you never know, anything can happen at this stage. As you can see from Ethan's pedal braking, that happened to me in USA in F1. Don't want that to happen, especially when you are doing well. So, 3 lap old tyres versus 6 lap old tyres. Gap now 2.5 seconds, now 2.6. It's definitely going to be a close race between them, I think, when we get to about lap 15. Cameron will definitely have the edge over Andrew. But overall, this race been good at the start when everyone was kind of close, and then it kind of went a bit bad when people started to retire. But it's a shame. We obviously hope for better when we start proper season, and it's going to be good to see all these drivers competing against each other for that F2 championship that Nathan has holding at the moment. Now going on to lap 12, and Cameron 2 seconds behind Andrew at the moment. The gap is closing, and I don't think Andrew's going to be happy about that. With the ability between them, I think they're both pretty good racers. From what I've seen from Andrew, he's impressed me quite a lot this race. He went into F2, me not knowing how good he was, and he's definitely impressed. Cameron, I've seen him in league races as well. He's impressed me today. Obviously starting last because of that problem in qualifying where he left, he got disconnected, but now he is closing in. He could do a last to first, but that would be amazing. I think at the moment, if Cameron does not screw this up, he is driver of the day. In my opinion, I would make him driver of the day, but we've still got a race in our hands. Is not over yet. 1.8 seconds now the gap, as we're about to go on to lap 13. Cameron is getting very close now to Andrew as he bumps over the final turns curb, and no fastest lap that time from either driver, but we have seen the best from both of these. It may only be testing, but this is a chance of a lifetime. The winner goes into F1, and I think everyone wants that at the moment due to F1 just being better in every way. I can say that because F2 is my league, but it's between Andrew and Cameron. Who is going to take that that racing point spot in F1? I'm thinking whoever it is going to be very good, because they have actually come through F2 to get into F1. Obviously, being pre-season, it's not really going through F2, but I think that either of these drivers today, they definitely deserve a space in F1. And as we await to see which one of these will become victorious today in this pre-season race around Spain. So the gap now between Andrew and Cameron is 1.1 seconds. Now 1 second, we're getting close to the DRS zone, kind of. DRS time, that's it, 0.9 seconds, it's getting close between them. I think Cameron might get DRS soon. This is where it gets tough. Lap 14 out of 17. They've got 4 laps to just push like hell and try and get the best out of the tyres. Andrew will not get much out of the tyres, being 9 laps old. Cameron's strategy has really pulled off today, as now his tyres are 6 laps old compared to the 9 lap old tyres. And Jesus, Andrew has a problem there, just runs a bit wide. That's 1 second gap. Does Cameron get DRS? He does not get DRS. He is very close now. These two are so close, as he runs a bit wide, but will allow it. 0.9 seconds still the gap. He could get DRS if he continues to keep that, maintain that gap. We could see a DRS overtake, but you never know. Cameron needs this exit off the corner. So does Andrew, and they're going down. I think Cameron's got the straight line speed now. As he comes off the corner, does he have DRS? I believe he does, and he does. Yep, closing down now. We go on board with Cameron as he goes to the outside of Andrew. Let's see, he goes round it outside at turn 1, and that's it. I believe he's got the move done. But Andrew's still there. This is an amazing battle. Whoops. Amazing battle between the two. They're leaving just enough room as Andrew just tiny bit squeezes him off the track. Let's see as they go into sector 2 now, and they're still close together. 1/10 separates them both. And is Cameron going to go for the move? He has a look, but it's not enough to get past Andrew. With 3 laps remaining, this is very close between them. And now we are very close to the end of the race. Andrew's tyres are close to the end of their life. And as they go into the next activation point of DRS, Cameron's definitely going to have a run on him. But I think it's not a long enough straight for him to get right next to him. So he's going to have to wait until the start-finish straight. That's where he proper gets it. And if he can keep this 5/10 gap, I think he could take the lead. And Andrew needs to... Oh, they're so close. Andrew needs the exit off the corner, but so does Cameron for their own benefit. I think Andrew's got the corner as Cameron launches over the curbs. There's going to be a DRS move. We see Cameron lose the outside of Andrew. Oh my goodness. And he goes past into turn 1 before the braking zone. And that's a very nice move from the Force India, or Racing Point, or whatever it's called, of Cameron. And let's see if he can hold off Andrew now, as Andrew's very close to losing his tyres. 11 laps old. They are not going to last that long now, as there are 2 laps remaining in this race, and definitely been a race to remember. And I've loved watching this battle between these two. 4/10 now is the gap. I think Cameron is just pulling away a bit now, as Andrew can't do anything with his tyres as he activates DRS, and Cameron is still ahead of him, but we'll see if Andrew can get him into the first corner. And now this is very close, as we're about to go into the final lap of this race. And look at how close they are. 6/10 to be honest, and Andrew's lost the rear. I think his rears are very done. But let's see, 8/10 now the gap, but Andrew does have DRS. Let's see if he can close that gap any way. He can't. It's too big as we go into the final lap now. They're both just going to be pushing their hearts out. They don't care about the sacrifices that they're about to make. Either of them are getting a 1 or 2. Cameron at the moment is in the lead. 6/10 though. If he has fresher tyres, that is the main advantage. His strategy has really pulled off today. I'm very astonished by it. It was very good from him. Nice timing, and I think today he definitely deserves driver of the day. So driver of the day goes to Cameron Namo Pamo in the Force India. So well done to him. And let's see, Andrew goes into the final sector now. We are. And it looks like Andrew just doesn't have the tyre life to gain up to Cameron. So, we go on board with the race leader as we go round the final corner any minute now. And that is it. Cameron wins the pre-season race at Spain. What a performance from him, starting last place. What a race from him. And he definitely deserves driver of the day there. Congratulations, Cameron and Andrew. You both raced very well. Andrew P2 and Nathan is in P3 there. And what a race from them. Obviously no gain in the points, but it's very reassuring as Cameron now moves up into the F1 seat at Racing Point. Very fitting that he is in that Racing Point today, because that's what he's going to be racing in F1 this season. So well done to all three drivers. Well, not really Nathan, but we'll allow it. And just to clarify the race results, there they are. First place is Cameron. Very clean from them all, no penalties. Second place by 9/10 is Andrew. Third place is Nathan. And fourth place in a DNF is Ethan. Fifth place DNF is Morgan. And rounding it off in sixth place is Tommy. Due to our unfortunate DNF. Well done. I'm sorry, but last to first from Cameron gives him that driver of the day. Just clap. That's it. And we will be back with the review.